Hi, welcome to the life of Sadie Nichole. I am Sadie Nichole, and this is my live stream podcast. how, how exciting! Cheers. So I kind of have a lot that I want to talk about in this podcast. I've named this podcast The American Dream because it's something that's really important to me. It's something that I think I've spoken about a lot of times before. But I guess let's get to it. So if you are just now listening, this is the official podcast of the life of Sadie Nichole. I've been documenting my life story for a long time, but now I actually have a podcast because I have some things that I want to talk about. Right now it's live. It's live on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch. It will be available on Spotify most likely tomorrow, but it won't be live. It'll just be this, but it'll be the audio. Let's see here. I'm just looking at my notes, making sure that I'm covering everything. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being here. If you want to find me elsewhere besides these live streams, I do have an Instagram. It's the Sadie Nichole. I believe it's in the description below. The link, along with a bunch of other links. I'm not really anywhere in particular. I'm kind of everywhere. But I do hang out in my server all the time. So that is technically where you can find me at any time. Okay, so excuse my squeaky chair. There are many squeaky chairs, but this one is mine. And I love my squeaky chair. So, the American Dream. So before I really dive into my thoughts on the American Dream, I want to talk about what I've heard about the American Dream. When I've asked or I've just been observing and looking around and how people view the American Dream, a lot of people say that the American Dream is dead. Like, it just hurts my heart, but let's not be too emotional about that. But the American Dream, is it dead? You know, I've heard that. I've heard that it doesn't matter. I've heard, what is it? What even is it? I've also heard that it's an old frame of mind. I've just heard a lot of things. So I want to declare what it is to me. So what does the American Dream mean to me? Well, to me, for me personally, I'm a huge believer in dreams come true, or people accomplishing their dreams come true, achieving their goals in their wildest dreams. That's something that I'm a big promoter of. I support it when I see it happen. It makes me happy. If I can help anybody that's on their way there or that's making steps there, I try to do whatever I can to help, whether it's, being encouraging or supportive in any kind of way. So, because I guess in a world full of broken hearts, the American dream, or dreams come true, is is something that that gives the heart something to look forward to hope for, and a light to guide them through a world of darkness and broken hearts. So I guess the American dream to me is, I would say, the grounded realistic form of dreams come true. So the grounded realistic form would be basically that it's achievable. So it's an achievable dream in the most human sense. That's what it means to me. So now, how would I support the American dream? Well, I think I already touched on that. I do it in any way I can, honestly. So the American dream to me also is entrepreneurship, small business, just like accomplishing goals that aren't that far out of the realm of possibility. Starting with small goals. Being an entrepreneur, having an idea, starting it up, a startup company, a small business or something like that. Making steps towards maybe a larger goal that seems way too out of reach. So to support that, what I do, or what I like to do, is support small business, support artists. To me, they're kind of the same thing. Like small businesses, artists, and entrepreneurs to me are, or innovators, or inventors. To me, they're all one in the same kind of category. So supporting them in their extremely ambitious, bold steps into the unknown or into the realm of the extraordinary. What do you think? Do you think that the American dream is dead, or that it's in any way important? Which brings me to the next thing here is, why is the American dream important? Man, there's so many reasons why it's important. Simply put, from where I stand, where I've been in my life, and I've interacted with so many people, and I've asked them, I always ask the same questions, like, what's your favorite color? I love color. What's your favorite color, and what's your dream? And when they tell me their dream, it's usually not some wild, crazy thing. It's like a humble, simple, sweet, obtainable, like realistic thing. And when people talk about their dreams, they're like, their eyes get bright, and they're just like, they get a smile on their face, and it's almost like they become a kid. Like, no matter how old they are, they could actually be a kid, but or they could be a grown person who's retired, or anyone in there. And when they talk about their dream, they light up. They like they become a kid again. Like all of the youth and the spark and the passion and the fire and all that stuff, like within them, is like, it rises to the surface, and it comes through their eyes, and it comes through their smile. But what I've found is that it's mostly simple. It's not some huge, complex thing. And I've heard, I can give an example. One time I asked somebody what was their dream, and they said, "Oh, I want a garden. I want a garden. I want to be out there with my hands in the dirt and I just hear, nature and I can just smell all the plants and I'm like, that's in my mind. I'm like, obviously, like I'm a solutioner. So I'm like, so why don't you just be a gardener? Right. Like, and they say, and all the brightness and the brilliance that's coming through them is just like, it becomes like dark, like, and their face changes and the light goes away and then they become sad and they say, and they become grown up, right? Like the little kid in them is like disappeared. And then they say, oh, well, it doesn't make good money. So I went to school for accounting and now I'm an accountant and I make, this many figures per year. And so I'm able to take care of my family and blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, like, but while they're talking about their dream. Anyway, so I've noticed that, and that's a pattern. And I've been all over the place, like all over the world, but especially in America, and that's the same. That one example that I've given, it's a pattern all over the place, and it's really sad. And so why would the American dream be so important? And I think that is to remedy the sadness, right? Because it is sadness. And that's really sad. It's like a sad story. It's like picking up a book and reading it and getting to the end and there is no happy ending. And it's like, it's just a sad story. You put it down and you feel sad. So that's what I've noticed. It's the American dream could be for somebody so simple and humble. So, the thing also that I've noticed or I've seen in life is I've seen what happens to someone if they don't have a dream or they don't have a goal. Like living life without a dream, without a goal. And to me, that's like I don't know, like wandering space or sailing on the open sea without any navigation, like without navigating anywhere. So just kind of like floating along. No direction, no navigating. So there's no real, I don't know, there's no real driving force. So everything is kind of impulsive because all that exists is the right now because there is no destination or potential destination. So I'm thinking about just like traveling through space and, it's like, well, I don't really have a destination because I'm just going to travel through space for the rest of my life. And maybe I have like a really long extended lifespan. So I'm like, I'm just going to chill. And this is like really bright. Hold on. Is that a little better? Okay. So it's like, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to like wander through space, but it's like, you still got to pick like a destination here, maybe a destination there, and then like travel kind of like wandering aimlessly, but kind of with some direction. And that therein is like adventure, right? Adventure and exploration. So I've seen what happens when somebody doesn't have a dream at all. And really interesting patterns occur, really interesting patterns in character choices and in choices in actions. And it doesn't go well. It just doesn't go to a great place necessarily. because it's like, then there needs to be cause for thrill. When there is a thrill, and it's thrilling to have a destination or a goal or something in mind, and heading in that direction, that is thrilling, because it's like, climbing. It's like climbing a mountain to get to the top, and the journey there, you run into a bear, or you see flowers or something, like along the way, and you take pictures, and you make the memories along the journey to get to the top of the mountain. Or you could just wander throughout the wilderness without aiming towards, the top of the mountain. And that's cool too. But when you do that, you just kind of like go in circles, and I mean, that can be fun, I guess. But then it kind of like just lands into like survival rather than like, I don't know. So what I've seen anyway, to not have a dream, to not have a goal, it doesn't really go well. There's nothing valuable to lose. And because what becomes valuable when going towards a goal or a dream is opportunity. Opportunity becomes the most valuable commodity that can't be necessarily replicated. So without a dream or a goal or destination, it'd be navigating towards opportunity is not valuable. It's like a fart in the wind. It doesn't mean anything, right? Yeah. So that's kind of, I've gathered this much, that it's important. It's important to have a goal. It's important to have a dream. And the American dream to me is that more grounded, realistic approach to having a big, wild dream. It's making it more able to grasp in the here and the now. Realistically. I've heard that before. I've heard that before when I had goals or dreams that were, or goals, right? Because I'm goal-oriented person, but I have goals back in the day when I would communicate them to anyone who would listen, and be like, "Oh, honey, that's wonderful. Could you be a little more realistic though with your goals?" Like, and it's like, I feel like that's loaded, like that. Is that a loaded question? Because what does that even mean? What's realistic? So, but bringing it to more realistic, smaller goals to get there. I think that's something I've learned that was actually very beneficial for me, for me personally. I don't know about anybody else. Another thing that I wanted to say is that, going about in life and, working for somebody, right? So the American dream may be to someone like, owning your own business, being your own boss, owning your own small business, being a freelancer, an entrepreneur, or something like that. Independent contractor, right? But what about those that start companies and then it's like, well, but I need employees to help me expand my dream, right? But the thing is about somebody working for somebody else, that's also part of it that I've noticed and that I've experienced. It's kind of part of the whole process. And like steps to get there. To me, because I've heard this so many times in so many different ways, but how the 9 to 5, right, is so crushing, and it crushes the spirit, and it's so, all these negative things about a 9 to 5 job. But I don't think it's that. I don't think it's the 9 to 5 that's crushing the innovation or the creative spirit. Um, I think it's investing our energy, our creative energy, and our life force energy doing something that we don't enjoy, So it's like work the 9 to 5, but make sure that the working is something that you enjoy. Um, but that comes at a risk. And that's why I want to talk about this, because is there a solution to this? I think the solution to this is, connectedness, and community, coming to collaboration, like coming together, instead of everyone being out for themselves, everyone be out for each other, kind of, that family team mindset. I think that's one of the keys here. Um, that's what I think. But what do you think? um, what I've seen and what I've experienced, like, for instance, working so many jobs, so many industries, learning so many skills, working all across the board for different people and everything. But even during that time, having maybe no goals, no dreams, no aspirations necessarily. But what did come of it, learning new skills, learning new traits, learning how not to do something, learning how to do something properly, learning about our own character and our own flow, kind of like in school, learning our own, how we learn, and everybody learns differently. So kind of like that. Finding what we enjoy and how we want to contribute to society, right? Takes time and interaction. It does. And I think I'm going to tell my children, like, don't assume that you're going to know what you want to do in life until you've lived life, right? You need to live life to figure out what you even want to do in life. I have a lot of skills. It got me jobs, but then I was doing that whole 9 to 5 thing where I'm like, my whole entire soul is not into this, and I've interacted with many industries, and I've tried to make career. I tried to take some skills and some other, suggestions and try to make a career out of this because I'm good at it. And it's like, yeah, I'm good at it, but I don't I don't have passion for it, and that's not what drives me. None of it's stuck, you know. Every job for me was like, this is too easy. I could do this in my sleep. This isn't fulfilling. This isn't fun, you know. And I think everybody kind of goes through that, and it's disheartening. It's disheartening to be in a situation that's like, well, I make good money, but I'm not having fun. You know, should we be having fun in life? Yeah, like hard work. But if we only have a finite amount of time, and time is a very valuable resource that you can't like get more of or something, like you can't like, respawn, right? Restore, like cheat code to get more coin, like, but cheat code to get more time? I don't think so. So, because of that, it's like, so our actions are special. And so our actions are an investment because they are our time. Um, this is why I I encourage traveling. Like when somebody's telling me how they don't know what they want to do with their life, they don't have a dream. I'm like, have you traveled? It's like, oh no, I haven't been more than like 10 miles away from where I was born and raised. And it's like, okay, well, I think a good start would be to travel. Traveling helps you to see things from a different perspective, to see different cultures and ways of life, different characters. Um, the, I said, this is why I encourage not going to college right away. So I did this, right? So I went to college after high school. It didn't work, right? I went to college um after I came back from war, and but I kind of just like, I should do this, but I didn't. Like in both those situations, like, I should do this, but what do I want to do? Like, what am I gonna get out of it in the long term? I didn't have an answer. I still tried to do it anyway. And so then it didn't work out. Um, so I tried 3 times. This is the third time that I've gone to college, and because the other times didn't stick. Actually, no, this is the fourth time I've gone to college and it finally stuck. So I've already tried it 3 times in 3 different type of scenarios that are pretty typical in life, and it didn't work. Um, because it wasn't a passion. I didn't. If I'm being honest with myself, which I try to be honest with myself as much as possible, even if it's just like really uncomfortable. Like, I wasn't truly into the studies. So then studying was like, it was lame, right? And it was just like, I don't want to do this. Like, and I don't care. Like, I don't care about the subject matter, and I don't care. I'll do it, but I don't care, you know? I kind of care. And there's other times like, I kind of care, but I don't really care, you know? I was more interested in life and living life. And that's the thing. What gets us so involved into living life, where we're excited about life, right? Not going through these motions of, I should do this. I should do this, right? Yeah, I think I should do this. Like, is that a thought process like that's like healthy? I don't. It wasn't conducive. It didn't help me very good in life to have that thought process. Is like, yes, I want to do this, and this is why. Yes, I want to learn this, and this is why. So that's what I'm going to do, and this is why. And it's like, but this is why for myself, not this is why for others. I guess I did try to explain myself to others. Didn't make sense to anybody, but it made sense to me. Um, yeah, I didn't figure out what I wanted to do until I figured out what I didn't want to do. It's like, oh man, here's a giant list of things that I don't want to do. So it like really narrows it down to, well, then what do I do want to do? You know? Um, but I did gain skills during that time, and of just like living life, you know, being really engaged into life and the circumstances that were occurring. And some of them were wild. I like my life story is pretty intense. Um, Pretty intense indeed. But during those life experiences, which really like pull you into the moment because you have no choice but to really be involved in the moment and face the moment exactly as it is, because you do not know if there's going to be another moment. And there rises opportunity. Opportunity to make moments beautiful. So, But during those trials, tribulations, life experiences, crises, that's when I was able to see my own character come through, peer through, arrive, and respond to the moments and to the situations. Excuse me, my throat's feeling a little wonky from. Cheers. Cheers to living life, man. Life is so fun. It gets pretty intense though. So that's when I was able to observe my character coming through, my character being present and arriving and responding to the situations. It's when I was given opportunities by the universe for my character to even just like grow, like flex too. Right? So but also besides observing my own character arriving and being present, it was also I was able to observe the suffering of others. Because if I wasn't in those circumstances, I wouldn't have been in the same realm of others that suffer from the same circumstances. So it's like, well, I'm not alone. There's all these other people that are also suffering from the exact same thing that I am. But see, my character shows up as like, dun 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 dun, like, let's get out of here. Like, we're gonna solution this and we're gonna GTFO, like, so that's what my character did to liberate me out of the situation. But while I was there, I was able to see that, there are others that are in this situation that don't have a character like mine. And they don't even know how to think of a way to get out. Right. And so that was me observing the suffering of others. And so I had to actually, I had to experience life. I had to live life and live those experiences, those trials, those tribulations, to gain skills, allow my character to arrive and be present, and to have compassion and empathy. And I think it's a known thing, right, for entrepreneurs, niche market ideas, inventors, innovators, even artists, but I think all of them are artists, but I think it's a known thing that it's observing the suffering of others or observing the pain that's occurring that leads to the resolution, the solution, the remedy that leads to the invention being created, that leads to the innovation being created, that leads to the art being created. It's even the art is like, it's a healing, right? So it's its own thing. It wasn't fun. Oh, and so anyway, so coming back to like college and entering college after that, after understanding the suffering of others, obtaining, new skills and new knowledge and all this stuff, then I realized what I wanted to do. Then I realized what I want to create. Then I realized what innovation that I want to create, like what market I want to be in, what people I want to help. And I realized, which, kind of, you put all that together, and it's a small business, or, a startup or something like that. So then I realized what kind of small business owner I want to be, and And then it hit me like, oh, I kind of need even more knowledge about this actually if I'm going to do this. Like, then it was like, I need to go to college. Like, not, should I go to college? Like, I want to go to college. Like, no, I need to go to college because I need more knowledge about this because this is what I want to do. So I need to go there as fast as I can, right? And I need to hurry up and get this knowledge into my brain. And so now I'm in college, and it's not exactly a really simple subject or something. It's actually extremely complex, and it's extremely challenging, but I'm sailing through it very quickly, and it's very smooth because I really I like it. I'm like eating the knowledge up like it's like the greatest thing that I've ever eaten. Like, this is my favorite meal. Right? So yeah, and to say that about college, I'm going through it smoothly and stuff, meaning I'm taking in the information. Not like before when I was going to college, I'm like, like I don't care, right? Like, I'll do it, but I don't care. No, this is totally different. Like, I went through adversity while getting a college degree, and I still am like, I need more. I need more knowledge. I need more information, you know? So, but definitely, I think without getting to the part of Maslow's pyramid of hierarchical needs, whatever, like without getting to self-actualization, I think realizing our own individual American dream, it requires things like interacting with our community or other communities. It requires traveling our own country, right? And viewing life from different perspectives and interacting with different people in different industries and all that. It requires connectedness and communication and really plugging ourselves into and connecting, and not just from like the internet. I'm talking about like from like actual physical interaction with people, you know, serving food to homeless people, you know, that it's an interaction. It teaches us something. It does something in our brain, and in our heart, you know, to have compassion and empathy for other people like that. So the American dream, even on an individual level, can't even be, this is my opinion, obviously, but can't even be fully realized without experiences, you know? But in the end, when we do realize it, and this is based off my own experience, when we do realize it, it ends up being about freedom. The freedom to do what I want to do and how I want to do it, and making my own way to do that, you know, which is independence. Like, I want to be independent from, you know, this, whatever, the status quo, or from whatever. Like, I want to do it my own way. That individuality, independence and freedom, you know, to use the skills that I've acquired, and to use the knowledge about the suffering of others that I have seen with my own eyes, and put it all together with also knowledge, you know, that I'm gaining about different industries, whatever, and put it all together and make my own thing, right? My own way. It's like making an art project, you know? Writers write what they know. But a writer that's never been anywhere or done anything, they're not really going to be able to come up with something. Like, writers write what they know. A writer is just an artist, right? So it's like writers write what they know. Like they got to be out there like experiencing stuff, or they're going to be like making very flat stories and flat characters, you know? So it's like they have to be actually experiencing things. And if that's to say that about a writer, which is an artist, then that's to say that about any artist, all artists, right? Like, which to me, an innovator, a creator, an inventor, they are artists too, right? So let's see here. I think I'm gonna take a water break. I'm not used to talking this much. I spend a lot of time just chilling. So and writing, actually. That's why I'm bringing up the writer thing. Like I write what I know. But if you're just now tuning in, this is the Life of Sadie Nichole. This is my official live podcast, available live on Rumble, YouTube, and Twitch only. Afterwards, probably about tomorrow, it'll be available on Spotify. The audio of this live stream. If you'd like to talk to me, I don't really do DMs like on any platforms, but if you want to talk to me pretty much at any time of the day, I'm available on my server. So join my Discord server, and the link is in the description. Also, I've been writing a public blog on Substack and Medium called The Life of Sadie Nichole, and feel free to subscribe to those. Those links are also in the bottom in the description. And I'll be adding a lot more content to that in the coming days and weeks, so stay tuned for that. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Right? Yep. Gotta learn how to break code, LOL. Delete! Hey, what you doing today? Working hard? Taking care of your kids? Building your company? Building somebody else's company? What are you doing today? I'm doing all of those things, plus studying. Okay. This right here, and right. Um.
deep inside your head, okay, there's a little voice inside your head, okay? And it's called Little Steven, okay? And he's just mean all the time, okay? And he's just a bully, okay? And he's just an asshole, okay?
Yeah.
And you hear him all the time, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you fucking refuse to let this guy out, okay? But next time but when you talk to me, unleash Little Steven, okay? Harass me. Harangue me.
Why?
Say all the little
Why?
things that Little Steven it would tell you, okay?
No.
And how Little Steven just let him out.
No.
Okay?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes,
No,
that
no,
is how
no.
you will get through to me.
No,
Sadie.
No, I'm
that's
not
how you will
gonna-
get through to me.
I'm not going to verbally assault you, Steven.
Yes, that's what I listen, okay?
Oh my God.
See, that's why you're not a hero. You're not willing to do what it takes in order to get through to someone, okay?
System that's corrupt eventually goes down, then everything that's on top of it also goes down. So there has to be something else. Well, me, it's time to get used to looking at you. Like, yeah. It took a few years for me to be okay with like looking in the mirror because I'm like, ah! Like.
Every other villain. And you know what? There's always going to be me. There's always going to be the character like me. If I'm not here, a different character that will be just like me will come up. No, will always be about life and freedom. Freedom.
Oh my God.
They deserve it. They deserve the opportunity to build their character, to be courageous, to write their own story. They have that.
Yeah,
they should
sure.
be given that freedom. Period.
It's the exact same story that's been perpetuated throughout the entire time. It's gonna. It's
then.
Part of the same cycle, Sadie. You're not breaking the wheel at all. You're just feeding into it. Okay. Like, do you know why the criminals fucking win? Do you know why they're
Oh.
Do you know why the criminals keep on succeeding, Sadie? Do you want to know why? Because I'll fucking tell you why. Because we want them to. Okay.
May peace be with you, and may all of the seeds of love and kindness you've planted in your life, may it return to you starting today and every day moving forward for the rest of your life.
And that's just a microcosm of the thing. It was like, damn it, I just want to be selfish and be able to do this all by myself. But I can't do that, so I have to help people. It's just a pain in the ass. Ugh. Rah, rah, hey, look at this. We're helping each other out. Oh, man, look at us.
Yeah,
You started the fucking thing before everybody was here, Sadie.
Oh, sorry.
God fucking damn it. You're just God, what? You know, How do you think boss fights are started, Sadie? How do you think they're started?
You're being really mean, Steven.
It's by fucking around and going up to the boss and being like, hey, I want to start the boss fight, which is exactly what you did. So if other people aren't around you, what you don't do is you go up to the boss and like, hey, I want to start this fight. That's what you don't do, okay? I don't know why you're like this. Just pay attention and, I just want you, I want you to succeed, but you need to pay attention, Sadie, okay? I want you to win the game, but you're not winning the game because you're not.
Welcome back. All right, so we are here. If you're just tuning in, this is the life of Sadie and Nichole. We're talking about the American dream. This is my only official podcast And I'm streaming this live on YouTube, Twitch, and Rumble. It will also be available afterwards on Spotify, just the audio. So I wanted to touch on so small business, independence, freedom, and obviously those are very descriptive words of America. But individuality and the ability to create our own version of what, when we wake up, we're so excited, and it's like, whew, it's another day that I get to do what I like to do, and that, I think that should be everyone, right? And actually, in a beautiful, balanced, harmonious reality, that's what it would be. Everyone would be waking up every morning, and when they wake up, they're like, oh my gosh, I get to, fill in the blank with whatever it is that they enjoy doing, and that makes it easier to get up in the morning. That's like an automatic cup of coffee before having a cup of coffee. And, that's joy. And so, and that, I think joy is the remedy for sadness. And I think that's really important. It improves our overall quality of life. And, I look at children when they wake up, and it's like, it's opportunity. It's opportunity for them to do all the things that they like to do. Play with the toys that they want to play with, do the stories that they want to do stories with, play with the friends that they want to play with, do all the things that they enjoy. That's their opportunity to do that. And they wake up with so much energy. They don't require coffee, right? They wake up with so much energy and so happy. I don't know. I just had a thought, am I week behind? No, I'm not. Time becomes relative when you wake up and you do and you're doing you're excited to do the things that you love, and you're excited to do the things you like to do. Time is relative. One day is it lasts a long time, but sometimes one day just goes by way too fast, because I was just doing what I love for all those hours, and now the day is gone. It's oh man, I need another day to be able to do all the things that I love. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful experience. But children go through that. They get to wake up and they're like, yeah, I got all my toys and all my books and all the things that I like to do. So excited, and we kind of lose track of that, or we lose sight of that. And I think it's important that we lock back onto that. We focus on that again. So if the American dream is dead, I am determined to bring it back from the dead. If that's the case, I am going to continue to not shut up about it, and I'm going to bring it back from the dead and bring it back to life, because it being alive and well, and it's an idea, right? And the idea of the American dream is to do what you love for all the days of your life. To figure out what it is that you love, that takes time. But in some capacity, it involves your heart, right? That as far as I can see, it involves the heart. It involves some level of compassion for pain, some level of empathy for suffering. So, in my opinion, that's why it's so important to bring it back from the dead. think. Oh, I've seen people. I've met people that, you know, they had, you know, really great job doing whatever it was. I'll just throw something that, like, they're doing like construction, making great money doing construction, building buildings, stuff like that. Really good at it. But their passion is making pizza. That's their passion. So even though they're making really good money, you know, working for this company and you know, building and construction and stuff like that, excuse me, what their passion was making pizza. And they actually realized that over time, because they realized after they were done going to work and doing all the things they need to do, and then they come home and they would get really elated and excited to get all the ingredients, make that dough, right? And put that sucker in the oven and make their own pizza, and then smell their own pizza, eat their own pizza, make pizza for their friends, for their neighbors, for their family, have everybody eat their pizza, love their pizza, and they're like, and they loved it. That made their heart swell, right? They were just like happy that, because they made that pizza was freaking magical, right? It wasn't like just any pizza. It wasn't a frozen pizza that you like heat up. It wasn't pizza that was from some chain. It was pizza made from love. This person loved every single step of making that pizza. So this person realized that's their passion. They want to make pizza, their own pizzas, because they come up with new ideas of like, and then they have other people try it and it's amazing, and that's their passion. They take their savings, they quit their job doing construction, like the right way and everything. They talk to their boss, and their boss is like, hey man, go towards what you love. And they invest into starting up a small business making pizzas. And they become like the most loved pizza maker in the community, and they make actually like more money than they made, you know, doing what they were doing, even though they're really good at it. But because they had that knowledge of construction, they're able to create a really awesome experience for their customers in their restaurant, right? So they took the knowledge that they gained and they applied it, and it made the experience even better. So that, to me, that's beautiful. That is harmonious and heavenly, right? And I like to focus on a reality where everyone's living their dream like that, where everyone is living, doing what they love. When they wake up in the morning, they're excited. When they wake up in the morning, they're excited to be in service, because no matter what we do, we're in service. We're in service to somebody, right? And there's a difference. This is the thing about small business owners, or you know, entrepreneurs, or freelancers, or independent contractors, stuff like. There's a difference in, you know, listening, you know, to your boss, and the policies and stuff that are established. It's like, the customer is always right, and it's like, yes sir, that's right, yes sir, you know. But there's a difference in that and being the one that's saying, my customers are always right, you know. There's a transition with growth, you know, with our own individual growth and our own life story development and our own character development, where that is rad, you know, that transition of the customer is always right to my customer is always right. because then the heart is involved, right? And love, like, compassion, like empathy is involved. And when that's involved, it's more alive. It's not the mindless duties, which I know what that's like, but we're always going to be in service to somebody, and we can do it begrudgingly, right? Is that the American dream, to do it begrudgingly? I don't think so. I think the American dream is the idea of doing it, being in service joyfully, happily, and with zeal and enthusiasm. And that, when we see that, I don't know about anybody else, but it seems as though, and for me, it's this way. When I see that, when I see someone doing what they love, and it's obvious because their enthusiasm is there, their joy is there, love is there, their compassion is there. It's like, yes, and it's like, it gives me hope, that we're a stone's throw away from heaven. Then it must be, because I see at least one person that's living in heaven. So that must mean it's possible for me and everyone else, right? We just got to figure out what's the equation here? What are we missing? What variables are we missing? Like, what do we need to figure out to make that possible for everybody else? And yeah, servitude, though. Servitude. I really like that word. I in my mind, I use it a lot. I should be using a lot more in my writings, but there's a difference between slavery and servitude, right? Being in service versus slavery. One is forced and one is an act of love. And I believe that our actions, are planting seeds. And I believe planting seeds of love. Kindness is love. But planting seeds of love is really important, because whatever seeds we plant, and if we're always planting with whatever actions we make, like they're going to grow. We're going to be throwing poisonous seeds, planting poisonous seeds, or like seeds of love. It's up to us, our own character. But it's like, how do we want to serve, and who do we want to serve? And if servitude is love, then it's a question of, how do I want to love? And who do I want to love? I want to love in this way. And it is, these who I want to love. And, you could break that down and say, how do I want to serve? And it's like, what market do I want to be in? And who do I want to serve? Like, what's my demographic that I want to serve? So it goes back to, in my opinion, capitalism, right? So a huge factor of the American dream being raised from the dead is capitalism, and an understanding and love for capitalism, because it's through capitalism that we can make this choice of how we want to be in service and to who. And owning a small business, being independent in the way of being an entrepreneur, freelancer, small business owner, artist, that freedom right there to be able to make your own hours and make your own client list and make your own make your own way of how you do things and what community and everything. That's all capitalism. That's all something that's wonderful, right? So to bring the American dream back from the dead is to acknowledge what a blessing capitalism is, and that's naturally kind of how we think as humans, as solutioners, right? Problem solvers, innovators and artists and creative minds. It's what we do. It's how we think, and then from a heart level, how we want to serve, what brings us joy to be in service in this way, to this set of people, so I think adjusting our mindset to understanding and having gratitude for things that we may have been seeing in a different light, like capitalism, like the free market, and how important it is to the American dream, and how important the American dream is to our future, and how important the American dream is to overall dreams come true, and how important the American dream is to having a harmonious potential, highest potential of living and quality of life overall for everyone collectively. We have to grasp the strength that we already have given to us, that we've been blessed with, and perceive it in the way that is beautiful, that it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It allows us to have freedom of expression and freedom of expression in service to fill in the blank. And that's the dream, right? Freedom, individuality, independence, waking up with a joyful heart to do something that we love. That's what we're all trying to get to. That's going to get us to the, very top of the pyramid, which is self-actualization, right? Self-realization. So if we're gonna rise, especially out of survival, the lowest end of the spectrum here, like if we're gonna rise out of survival and get anywhere close to self-actualization, somewhere in there is the American dream, and it holds hands with capitalism. So gotta make peace with some things here. Right? Like that. Don't knock it till you try it, right? Don't. Anyway, so yeah, I think another way to nurture this, right? Nurture this idea is that sense of community, which, most of that word is made up of the word unity. And that is what it is, And in a reality where we are the opposite of that, it only allows us to have gratitude, for what we don't have. So maybe we needed to not have unity to understand how valuable it is, and how precious it is, and how wonderful it is, and how fulfilling it is. Maybe we had to not have that sense of wholehearted community so that we understand how wonderful community actually is. Because honestly, and I think I've said this before, it's like, it's a reflection. So if the American dream is dead, if that's the case, and that's a reflection of all of us as one body, the nation being one giant body, like, this is my body, like, but it's our collective body. If the American dream is dead, what is that a reflection of? Then what within us died? Hope. Hope can never die. So I don't think that maybe the American dream is close to death, but it is hope. So it might be frail, but it can't die. It's immortal. So, it's a reflection that, hope is at the very bottom of Pandora's box, right? All of the darkness and all of the scary stuff. But there it is, shining bright. And all we got to do is just like focus on it and pay attention to it and nurture it. And the way that we do that is coming together, community, unity, togetherness, connectedness, but interacting in real life, right? That's because it's the only thing that's real. And I think in that we'll find all the other things that are valuable. Right along with the American dream, which is like freedom, capitalism, independence, self-sustainability, entrepreneurship, small business, artists. All those things, they all hold hands. They're all one team with the American dream. I think that's all I have for today. That was fun. I really enjoyed talking about the American dream. The reason why I wanted to do this is because it will probably come up later in other podcasts and other conversations that I have. I will bring up the American dream again. Of course, I will. I'm bringing it back from the dead, but obviously, if I don't talk about it, then it's just going to stay there being bright in the darkness. But thank you for listening. This is the Life of Sadie Nichole live official podcast. If you enjoyed my show, be sure to subscribe and follow and show me some love in the comments below. Rest day is coming up tomorrow. I put the reminders in my events calendar on my website. The link is also in the description, my website link, if I'm correct, in the description below. And let's see. Oh, I got some rad merch that I made. Super awesome. It's also available in the description. I got the link there. Score some of my rad merch and come join me while I game on rest day. Live here again on YouTube, Rumble, and Twitch. And have a wonderful and blessed day. And may all of your dreams come true. Tune in next time for another episode of The Life of Sadie Nichole live official podcast.